What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should like and sub, and let's get into this. Meant to cover this the other day, but unfortunately, a couple other stories just jumped ahead of it. But here we are now. Valorant threatens hardware bans against players who engage in egregious trash talking. We won't miss you. And as someone who grew up in Xbox party chat lobbies, Call of Duty, Halo, etc., Battlefield, trash talking, having the worst, most horrible shit said to you after matches. First of all, it was a victory because it meant you were doing well. It was an outlet. Most of the people they're talking about here, where they're like, people shouldn't be exposed to this, the kids shouldn't be exposed to this. Well, those kids shouldn't be playing the games to begin with. But if and when you do, and you did, well, iron sharpens iron. And most of the people who talk about those Call of Duty lobbies, and I know sometimes we play them ever so briefly, a lot of gamer words. Oh, they're missed. Oh, they're missed. It was the best of times. It was the worst, but just the best of times. And things like this meant to stop that from ever happening again. So in response to growing concerns regarding the concept of in-game trash talking, the development team behind Riot Games, Valorant, has announced that they will be taking punitive action against any and all players who engage in the behavior to an egregious degree. And I'm sure it'll be left to whims of community managers and other, other people there of who is egregious or not. New player policy was first revealed public on May 30th, courtesy of Valorant studio head Anna Donnellan via recorded developer update on the official YouTube channel, beginning her message with a particularly diatribe regarding Riot's outlook on the topic. Donnellan informed players, since launching Val, especially with the addition of voice comms, we've known that fighting in-game harassment was going to be both something we needed to prioritize and also would be one of the most challenging issues that we would face. We've been working on systems and technologies, and we actually have been making a lot of progress, but having large global player communities presents unique challenges, evolving challenges. Yeah, different languages, that's fine. It's going to lead to some messed up AI algorithm that probably interprets everything as egregious. Moving to offer clarification on these challenges, the studio had then revealed, I've spent the last couple of weeks reviewing player logs, looking at penalty escalation paths, discussing player behavior philosophies, seeing where they're working and where we absolutely need to do better. It's not the first time I've had to do this. It will not be the last. It's important work, but it's not always easy work, she continued. I'm a human and a parent and a caregiver and a team lead, and in almost every aspect of my life, I feel this deep responsibility to protect people. Well, when you over-shelter people, that's actually more detrimental than the abuse you're trying to protect them from. Turns them into soft little pussies that can't take any sort of criticism or harsh language. Then they get all shocked and shook anytime anything actually does go wrong. This is no different. The responsibility of protecting our community, commie word, of Valorant players is one I take very personally, and I can tell you that very often it can feel like I've failed in that responsibility. Well, you're putting too much importance on yourself. Following that admission that player behavior is a complex problem space, Donlon moved to assure Valorant's player base that Riot always takes this topic seriously. That's been true ever since we launched League of Legends, but at the end of the day, there are still some people in this world who want to take out their insecurity or their bad day or their hate or their whatever on some stranger through their... That's what the fuck it all is point. Yes, you get all the hate and the anger out, and it's the character, the fake characters, party chat. That's the byproduct, and the easy way to do that is you just don't use party chat. You can mute people. That's what that is for. She lamented, so we work harder, we take steps forward, further bolstering her appeal to emotion, the studio had then asserted. But here's the part I can't shake. It's in almost all cases, someone gets hurt in the process of making these systems better. Too often it takes someone experiencing the worst behaviors, something egregious, something painful, something threatening for us to do better, understand where the gaps in our systems and processes are. And that's exactly what we're experiencing and addressing right now. I also want to make sure that I say this out loud. We have no room for these types of behaviors in our game and our community. Valorant is a team game. It's better played as a team. The strats are better. All of it's better. Right. So get used to being with different people. If you have never been got an angry message being called a Fig Newton and that you should unalive yourself because you own someone in a multiplayer match, I mean, have you ever lived? I don't know what to tell you. Moving to address the regularly raised argument that players do not wish to engage with trash talk should simply mute. Yes, Don Lon declared, when you tell someone to just mute comms to avoid harassment, you are essentially putting the harassed person in a position to not communicate, to compromise how they want to play a game, to accommodate you. No, go fuck yourself. I guess that's egregious. When you tell someone to mute, you're telling them to mute the person. You can mute other fucking players. We're not telling that player to just shut up and mute and don't participate. We're saying mute the player that you find harassment and move the fuck on or ignore them like an adult. Muting is a tool for people who choose to use it, not something that is there to justify bad behaviors. No, it isn't there for people who choose to use it to nullify said bad behaviors while still allowing for that type of outreach, expressing yourself to be there. I hate it so much. Competitive games need to have room for banter. We believe this, and I do understand the fear that we will sanitize gaming by over-addressing these issues. We will. You've said you will. We have no interest in doing that. That's not what we're talking about here, but what we do believe that a person should not be in a position to have to grow a thicker skin. No, you 100% do need to be in the position to grow a fucking thicker skin. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. Go play Monopoly. There's no room in our community for the most egregious behaviors, and we're not, and by the way, I'm not condoning actual death threats and doxing. Okay. In-game chat is a different thing, especially in context of a multiplayer game where you're literally killing each other in Minecraft or in Call of Duty or in a fictional thing. If you need to make truly evil statements under the guise of regular shit talk to enjoy gaming, then please play something else. I would love to hear her examples. We won't miss you, Val community. We can't stop them from opening their mouths and saying something awful. I wish we could. Yes, you bet you do wish you could, but we can't stop that. What we can do is help escort them out of our game space. And the player drop. No, we'll see that if the player community drops. To this end, Don Lon explained that Riot would be undertaking 4 specific tasks to help them achieve their goal of cleaning up Valorant's voice chat. First, over the next 30 days, we'll be finalizing updates to our existing policies. This will allow us to issue more severe penalties and faster, with a focus on the most severe behaviors. Things like hate speech, like saying Donald Trump is innocent or that gay pride sucks. Severe sexual content, threats of violence, which would be most comments, which have no room in our game. Secondly, we need stronger tools to deal with a broader spectrum of harmful player behavior. So we're introducing new actions. It will include penalties ranging from temporary bans, permanent bans, all the way up to include hardware bans for the worst offender. Hardware bans are an extreme form of punishment, so we will apply them only in the most extreme cases with clear evidence and manual review, similar to how it works in anti-cheat. Third, because we're making these changes, we anticipate there's going to be more reports that will require manual review. So we'll be beefing up the teams that are needed to support that. Fourth, we've been testing Riot voice evaluation systems, AI, in North America in English only for a while, still in beta, but it's working really well so far. Players who have been actioned upon by RVA have not reoffended at a 75% rate. And lastly, we're going to go back and perform a one-time review of the top suspected offenders from the previous act and issue penalties accordingly. It's important to us that you can trust us with this, that when you get feedback from a report, that you can trust that something happened in a timely manner with the right severity. Drawing her message to a close, Don Lon opined, I'm hopeful that these updates should be a positive step in earning that trust, and I don't think we should stop there. Penalties and punishments, they do work after that fact. Look, all of this is going to go that you're going to find people just not using their voice chat. They're going to go and use their own or a Discord or something like that. The more you try to police it, the more you tighten your grip, the more the star systems will slip through your fingers. Anakin destroyed the Death Star. No, separately. It was Luke. It was fun. Anyway, let me know what you think of this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you've done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And
well, bye.